What is good? What's happening, everybody? It's your boy Ferris Muthana, and welcome to another edition of Good Friends, Better Rivals with your boy Ferris Muthana and my main man Caleb. Caleb, how are you, my brother?
I'm good, baby.
I'm good. I'm good. Hey,
Football's
man, football,
back.
football is back. We shall let's get right into it, Caleb. Man, let's talk through some overall football stuff. First preseason game dropped. It was the Jacksonville Jaguars versus the Las Vegas Raiders. The Las Vegas Raiders. Vegas'
Vegas,
own Las Vegas.
702.
Yep.
What is it?
So Caleb, when we were watching the game, most of the starters didn't play, except on the Raiders side. Josh Jacobs played, and a bunch of their running
Yeah.
backs played. So I don't. I think he's gonna go like. I think Josh McDaniels is basically gonna be like,
Well, he just wanted to show like Jacobs over his injuries and shit.
yeah, basically. So like he gave him a little run. So do your initial thoughts. Jacksonville with all their starters sitting. You were saying the third and fourth stringers for the Jacksonville
Yeah, there's
Jaguars?
just nothing to tell about the Jaguars, and
Yeah,
I mean,
and the main thing about the Raiders was Josh Jacobs.
they want they want he wanted to show a little something what he had coming out. You know, they started
Yeah.
fast. Went out and they scored on the opening drive. They looked pretty good. So good on them.
Yeah, it wasn't really much to honestly. The Hall of Fame game is not really much to like look at because like
No.
it's for years it was always the teams' fifth preseason game. Now it's everyone's fourth preseason game because now there's only 3 preseason games, and it's always like people who are gonna get cut. These people are gonna get cut like unless they did something wild in the Hall of Fame game that people are like we got to keep them or something or blah blah blah. But most of these guys are not coming back on the team. They're gonna get cut most of the time. I was mostly like their initial run. Like here is your once in a lifetime opportunity of playing professional football in a preseason game. So it's really not much to look out because it's just.
I mean, apparently the Jaguars impressed you because you picked up all their quarterbacks.
Well, for fantasy purposes, I'm in a dynasty league. What if Trevor Lawrence gets hurt? So I would like to have CJ Beathard and Jake Luton on my team to
because
just
they really
replace.
impressed you in that game.
No, they haven't. It's just I have to pick them up out of necessity. You know, I'm not Brandon who just picks up Tyrone Johnson because he ran fast. Man, I have to pick up those quarterbacks because they're the backups to my starting quarterback. You know, in my dynasty league. So miss me with your nonsense, Caleb, you jackhole. Get out of here. Get out of here. And I'm just like Jerry Jones, man. I'm just Jerry Jones. I'm looking for glory.
But this game does show you how the Hall of Fame always shows you how much we love football and how much we want football all throughout the off season because this gets big ratings. Like this had like ratings of like
6.2 or 5.7.
Yeah,
it's one of them.
It did better than an NBA Finals game. It did better than freaking NHL hockey Finals games. Like
America is a football country.
Hell yeah.
It's a football country, you know. We would rather watch a random Thursday night game between Jacksonville and Buffalo when they sucked than a World Series game, dog. It's sad. It's really sad that every other sport. No, it's not. No, sip it. Let me finish. Let me finish. Can I finish my thought? You weasel face. Okay.
No.
Like it's like football's first. And it's such a gap between second. Like it's so like basketball's number 2. We all know that. But it's such a gap, dude. It's such a gap. And it's insane, bro. It's insane. It's wild to me, man. Like personally, I don't want to watch. I didn't want to watch the Hall of Fame game. Cause
I did. I watched every single second.
Well, yeah, no, because I
love football. I need
you're a psychopath. You're a psychopath. You know, so it's all right. It's fine. Okay, did he freeze or did I freeze? Who's freezing? Me or him?
I don't know.
One of us. I don't know. But it is what it is. But now the other big NFL news is the Deshaun Watson appeal. So like Susan L. Robinson recommended the 6 games. Then the NFL appealed that decision because either they didn't agree with the 6 or they wanted 10. I don't know why they appealed. It's their forte, but pretty much, it just proves that the NFLPA cannot negotiate properly because we all saw this coming because apparently in the CBA, they negotiated like the initial crime, it gets sent to an independent arbiter, the initial crime, which was Susan L. Robinson. But if the NFL appeals, the appeal process goes to Roger Goodell. So really, it's all a kind of a sham. doesn't really matter. And Susan L. Robinson never really mattered. Like she never mattered, like at all. So like I don't know why we did this it was like a song and dance, this pony show. She never really mattered. This process never mattered because the NFL was gonna appeal regardless to bring the power back to them. So, I'm not gonna rant on the NFLPA because I already did with a lot of my other friends a couple of days ago. They're not a union.
I thought you wanted to rant.
No, dude, I'm tired, bro. I don't want to talk about how stupid they are, dude. They're not a union. They're not a union at all. They have no power. They get whipped left and right every single time. Like they have no power. Like they don't do nothing. Like they're not a proper union. Like apparently this union was created so the NFL wouldn't get sued for antitrust laws. So they created a sham union to make everyone be like, oh, they have representation, but really they don't, because the union doesn't do anything. The NFL added a 17th game, and the union didn't say anything. They said nothing. They just added the 17th game, and they you have no. They have no power. I don't know how they can gain power. I don't know. They're nothing. They're nothing. Like it's the most dangerous sport. It makes the most money. You would assume the players have power, right? Like you would assume that.
I would not assume that, honestly.
I'm just saying you would assume that, man. You just assume that. I'm just saying you would assume that. All right, guys, we got our first donation. It's from Shug. Shug donated. Let me bring up the donation right here. You could have saw it. It says, here to show love to two of my favorite people, Caleb and Ferris. Glad football is back. Can't hear Ferris go off all season. Stay up, both of you. And there it is, right there. You see that right there. There it is. Yeah, man. Thank you for the dollar donation, bro. Yeah, man. It's like you would assume, right? But like they got no. What do you mean? Well, why wouldn't you assume? Like why?
Because the owners have all the money in the infrastructure. They have all the power. That's where power lies.
Money and infrastructure. The infrastructure. Like what do you mean? Because there's only 32 of them, and then there's like 100 and like.
Well, the organization of it is the infrastructure of organizing each team and making the systems of what the NFL will be. That's the infrastructure part. The money part is that they have $1 billion. Some of them make it from just being the owner of the teams, but a lot of them came into buying their teams from other businesses, and that's where all the money comes from. That's why they're rich. That's why they have money to pay for the players and have this type of infrastructure.
Because the only owners
that's why the players don't have power.
Yeah, no, because they had the structure prior to the union, so their structure has been around longer, and now the union is basically kind of like trying to rid the shackles of the sham that was created out. It was created as a sham. Now it's trying to be a union, but they're so far behind the 8 ball. They're still trying to catch up, and they can't catch up. They just can't. It's just too late because it's 32 men together with billions of dollars. They could sit out a season and be okay, but most NFL players, they make so much. Like the minimum in the NFL, I think it's like 500,000.
500,000, yeah, around there.
500,000, something like that. But like the average year is only 3 to 4.
Yeah.
So you don't want to lose a year of your career.
You can't afford to lose even a few games.
Exactly, because you want the check.
The game check is like what you're living off of. Then you can't take that off.
Yeah, so they're screwed. Like Caleb, trust me, we're gonna see a 20-game season one year. It's gonna be 20 games. It's gonna be 20 games. Watch it. It's gonna be 20 games. I guarantee you, because someone made a joke where it was like the NFL should have an 82-game season, and everyone kept making jokes about it. That's unrealistic. 20 games, I could see it. And guess what's gonna happen?
Preseason.
Yeah, like just get rid of preseason and just like play the season. That's 3 games right there. Like from August to like literally the NFL could dominate the country from August to February.
Yeah.
Like in a couple of years, it's gonna happen. Like trust me, in my lifetime, it's gonna be an NFL season of 20 games. Trust me, it's gonna happen. And records will be skewed because they're gonna have more games to break records. Like all the records will be thrown out of the book. Like I thought Cooper Kupp was gonna break Calvin Johnson's single season receiver record. I literally thought it, because he almost did. I think he was like a couple 100 yards. He almost did, but like our record's gonna look different. You know what I mean? Maybe not. But it is what it is. Like the NFL has no power. they're. I want to talk to Dominique Foxworthy one day. Be like, yo, dude, like you were the president of the NFLPA. What did you do? Like, what did you do? Like, did you do nothing? Because like he had that, because he had that famous conversation with Jerry Richardson where Jerry basically said, "We'll make you do whatever the hell we want." And Dominic was like, "Screw you, I'll fuck you up, like I'll beat you up or something." Like he threatened to kick Jerry Richardson's ass in the meetings. So like I want to talk to him like, you, what do y'all do in those meetings, man? Because every single time the CBA comes around, it looks like your deal gets worse. Your deal gets worse. Like.
Well, that really all they can do is ask for less practice time, which actually hurts them in some ways. Which is
stupid.
Because they actually need to practice because you look like crap for the beginning of the season because you didn't practice.
If I was them, I would just ask for that. If I was them, I would just ask for more piece of the pie. Be like, give us like 55% of the revenue. It kind of, it's not going to happen, but, ask for it. You could if you wanted to. But after all,
well, yeah, they could if they like you said, if they do go to a 20-game season, maybe they get more closer to 50.
Exactly. Yeah, now it's like what, like 48?
Like stop worrying about I think they worry about like all this other like practice stuff and all that stuff that don't really matter that much. Like stick to the 50.
Yeah, like money, part. Like the money.
Stick to have that sticking point. Let everything else go.
Increase contracts and money. That's what I would do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I would increase the money. So it is what it is. But now, Caleb, let's transition. 2.
We'll say one thing right now. How about them Cowboys?
Let's talk about it. The Cowboys. Minicamp continues. Padded practices continue. And you guys are still looking for a wide receiver. Break it down for me, Caleb.
Well, we got the news right after I think we closed the show. The next day came out that James Washington was going to be out for 6 to 10 weeks. He has a similar injury to what DeMarcus Lawrence had last season. After that, he got an injury to his foot on the opening game, and he was out for pretty much the entire 10 weeks length. And if that's the case, it's more looking like more of the full 10 weeks that he'll be out. So it's the receiver depth is not looking good at all. it's really,
hey man,
like I said.
Hey man, your receivers are burning your number one corner, so I think you're pretty good.
Oh, well, we're gonna talk about that. We'll talk about that. We'll get to that. But as far as the receivers that are on the field, it's I mean, what the Cowboys always like to do is they like to play their young players. They don't like going out to get the old guy to stop progression. They like playing their young players, even if they have struggles at the beginning of the season.
The anti-Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah, I guess so. they do like playing.
I just shot them. I just shot the Ravens.
Well, we'll get some Ravens fans in here.
Shout to my Ravens fans. Shout to Garnett. Shout to Garnett. Simi Fahoku. Shout out to Ravens Online receiver 2, Tony Pollard. Shout out to Davon. What up? So shout out to them. All right.
So that's basically what their plan is, to just play the young players in preseason, see what we got, and if we doesn't look good, then we'll press the panic button. We'll go and pick up a veteran player. I think that's what it looks like they're trying to do.
Continue. My bad, Dave. I love you, dog.
Yeah. So what we have, Dennis Houston is being featured a lot. And I saw they had a whole 2-hour practice that they showed online that I watched on Saturday. And Dennis Houston was being featured a lot.
On Saturday, you sat down to watch a 2-hour practice.
Yeah.
Not a game. Practice?
Yeah.
Not a game. Practice?
Yeah.
Okay.
Watch practice. Well, I would have been there if I could. If I could travel to Oxnard, I would go there and watch practice all day.
I don't know why do they have training camp in Oxnard? I just don't understand it.
Because we like to expand our family. That's how we get from across the globe.
So is that why you control Arizona as well?
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, because
that's wild.
Suck too. I mean,
yeah, the Cardinals are garbage. But continue.
But yeah, so Dennis Houston's being featured a lot in practice. I mean, it looks like he has a great connection with Dak already.
What did I tell you?
Early in this camp, it looks like that's Dak's guy. That's where he goes to. He's finding a good rhythm with him. Jalen Tolbert looks good. He looks everything that he's advertised. I mean, I think he can step in. Even though he was only a 3rd round pick, I think he's ready to step right in and play a lot, be a starter. Noah Brown is surprising. It's surprising that Noah Brown's even still on the team. He's been because he's been on the team for like 4 years, and he really.
Why don't y'all play him?
Because he's just a run blocker.
Have you guys ever tried to use him in like an actual receiver role?
Not really. We don't really.
So why don't you let him because I know Noah Brown. He was the starting wide receiver at Ohio State, where he played actual wide receiver. He was pretty good. That's when I found out like you guys had him. I was like, why don't you let him play receiver? Let him catch a football. We just kind of just always play him in run situations. He's he's a good run blocker. You know, he's really good.
He is. That's what we're using.
Underrated trade in a wide receiver.
And but this year he came into camp a little lighter, a little quicker, and it shows, man. He was catching some great balls that I was watching. Like he had the catch of the day on Saturday. So he looks a lot better, and I think he took that approach this season to show that since Amario's gone, and now he feels like he does have an opportunity to step it up, and maybe he can take a starting position. And I think that's why he made the change to his body and the way he plays, and he's really stepping in, looking like an actual receiver now. Mm-hmm. So that's good. Obviously, we saw Simi Fehoko in that viral video. You know him,
just burning him off the line.
And I've seen other clips of Simi Fehoko playing really well. So I mean, a lot of these young receivers, they're looking, they're looking good. And I'm gonna go with the Cowboys playing and just see what they got. See them in the preseason games. See how they're looking. Why not? I mean, we do. Michael Gallup will come back. James Washington will come back. So it's even if we do add another receiver, that's going to be at that time going to be kind of a
too crowded situation. That's going to be too crowded in that room. Yeah.
Yeah, if we can get through, the first part of the season until Michael Gallup comes back, I think we can. If these young receivers show up, I think we can just roll with them. Yeah,
and I honestly think I prefer those plans. Never don't go out there and sign like a veteran retread or like if the veteran fits, get him. But but the veteran receivers on the market right now that need jobs. Who cares? Roll the dice on the young kid and let him see if they ball out. Like, you know what I mean? Like TJ Vasher, Dennis Houston. Like what I tell you about Dennis? I told you about Dennis, man. Didn't I tell you about Dennis last week? Yeah. So like I told you to watch out for Dennis. So Dennis, Vasher, Simi Fehoko, and Noah Brown. Your young receivers who I think Simi and Noah have been on the roster for at least 4 and 3 or 2 years for Simi.
Simi's second year and Brown's been here for like 4 years.
Yeah. So like, you know what? You drafted these kids. You found these kids. Let them ball. Let them see, because at the end of the day, you don't know if your receivers can play until you let them play in a game. Like practice is practice. We keep talking about training camp. People get excited by everybody. Like the New York Giants are getting excited for David Sills again. Who cares? He don't play good. He don't play in the games. When the game matters, who's in the game? And you'll find out who these receivers really are. Like you'll find out if Simi Fehoko is just having a good camp and he beat Trayvon once or twice, until you put him in a game and he's going against like another solid corner and see if he beats them off the line. You know what I mean? Because here's the thing, like in training camp or in practice, you could beat your teammate because you know why? Because you see him every day. You know what they like to do in practice. If they like to take it a little easy in practice and you kind of take advantage of that and you look good. They're called practice warriors. You know what I mean? You see that. But until they actually play an NFL game, not no preseason game 1, week 1, they're playing. Who you against? The Buccaneers. I want to see Simi Fehoko against Carlton Davis.
Broncos.
No, I thought you guys were against the Tampa Bay Bucks.
Oh, week 1, yeah.
Yeah, week 1.
I thought you meant week 1 preseason. Sorry.
No, week 1. I'm talking about week. No, forget about the preseason. Yeah, preseason's whatever. Everything's vanilla. Week 1 of the season, you're against Carlton Davis, Sean Murphy Bunting. They're good corners, not great corners. I'm not going to say that they're not that great. They're fine. They're okay corners. Let me see Simi beat Carlton Davis. Let me see him beat off Sean Murphy Bunting. No. I was trying to keep rolling. No one will notice, but I don't know why you had to point it out.
Well,
that's why I switched it.
They noticed.
No, but I was trying to switch it. But you pointed it out. You know what I mean? Let me see like him beat off the line. Yeah, pause. Yeah, I know. I got you, man. I should get a pause soundbite. I'm gonna fix that one later. Pause. But yeah, man, this don't mean nothing. This don't mean nothing. Who knows you better than your teammates? Like his teammates, they know what Trayvon Diggs practices, and they know how to beat Trayvon Diggs. He was probably slow playing. Yeah, I know.
So you want to get into that?
Well, let's talk about it. Like the viral video of Trayvon Diggs, Simi Fehoko and CeeDee Lamb beat him off the line, and it wasn't even like they did a double move. It was like pop outside, and they just ran up the seam, and they just ran up. They just kept running and running. They just beat him using speed. Like there was no double move. I didn't see a double move. Did you see a double move? I don't think it was a double move. I think they just beat him off the line, and they just ran, and he just couldn't catch him.
Yeah,
they just ran right past him.
So obviously the video goes viral. He's taking a lot of criticism on social media, so he deletes his Twitter.
Yep.
Because he just kept getting hammered by the fans. But yeah, I mean, Trayvon, like said, it's just practice. It is just practice. We've seen it in real games though that he just guesses too much on routes. He thinks he's athletic, which he usually is. He is athletic enough to have catch-up speed. He has catch-up speed to he'll give him a little bit. You maybe guess on a route, but he knows he can go back and catch up to the receiver if they catch it. That's why he feels like he can play a little fast and loose with that kind of with this play. Otherwise, we don't really know what the routes are in practice. We don't know what their schemes are, if he has safety help or not, or any.
There wasn't safety help. There wasn't.
That's what I'm saying. Like we don't know what they're trying to do in practice, or they just or they're doing a drill, or they just want to see where the receiver's at, or what kind of play. Also, the fact that they just kind of let plays go, even though Dak is about to get sacked, and he still just throws it because there's obviously they're not going to sack the quarterback in practice, and they just let the play go, and obviously he got big. So but criticism is fair that he does get beat sometimes, but I think it's a little unfair. That's way too much because everybody talking about yards allowed. I mean, but he's got 11 interceptions, So I mean, it is what it is. I mean, he gambles a little too much, but as long as he's intercepting, I don't really care.
Yeah, okay, that's the thing, right? Like, you clearly see his deficiencies. Clearly, we know what his deficiency is. He's a guesser. He hops the route. He tries to guess where do you break. He doesn't just play the man. He doesn't just play like to the movement. And he isn't okay with a pass breakup. He wants the pick, and you know what? Sometimes you look amazing and you guess it right and you get the pick. But most of the time you get beat. You know what I mean? He needs to stop that. Like that's how everyone, when people against Trayvon Diggs in the NFL, you have that 1 year. You had what? 11, he had what? Eight picks?
Yeah, 11.
He had 11 picks.
Yeah.
You don't. Most good coaches and good players, they study the players who just had a career year the prior year, and they attack them. We know what he's wrong on. You can see his tendencies. Like he wants to jump the route. He wants that interception, because you know what I mean. Because interceptions get you paid, and a corner who gets paid gets in a lot of interceptions, unless you're Jalen Ramsey, who doesn't, according to Asante Samuel, Jalen Ramsey is not that very good of a corner. You know what I mean? Because he doesn't get the ball. Got to go get the ball. But with Trayvon, he gets the ball, but he gets an interception, but then he gets beat like 2 times. You know what I mean? Like you clearly see his deficiencies. I'm not saying he's a bad player. He's a fine player. But if he just reduces that tendency to hop the route and just, and just like straight up, just play the receiver. But that's the thing about this video, Caleb. He didn't guess. It was a straight, like Garnett said, it was a gunner 9 route. They just went up the seam. Yeah. They just went up the seam. He's got beat off the line. He didn't open up his hips. He didn't beat.
Like I was looking at compared him to other corners like Jalen Ramsey and all the other top corners. He doesn't have that much more yards allowed. I mean, mainly the 2 plays that he got beat on last year, with one against the Bucks, one against the Patriots. And one of them against the Patriots, he's supposed to have safety help, and they didn't, so it just counts against him because he let the guy catch the ball on him.
Mm-hmm.
And otherwise, it's not really that big of a difference. I mean, every corner gets beat. I'd rather a little, 1 or 2 plays and getting beat like that and take all the interceptions if he's going to make those plays. Because we had a guy like that. We had Byron Jones. we chose not to sign Byron Jones again. Byron Jones was a guy who never made an interception, never made a big splash play. All he did was, he was good at covering his guy. That's what he did good. He covered his guy, didn't let him get beat, but he didn't make any plays. And all the Cowboys fans, really didn't like him, and they were fine letting him go.
Well, yeah, man. It was.
So I'd rather have Trayvon Diggs.
He just had a great broad jump. That's all Byron Jones had. He had like the world record broad jumping. Something it was like what 9.5, or like a 10.5 or something. You know what I mean? Yeah, but like that's the same thing. The same thing with Bruce said. Shout out to Jared. It's training camp. Can't take everything good and take everything bad seriously. It's training camp. It's practice. This is where you mess up. This is where you mess up. You figure out what's good, what's not. We'll see. Can he fix it? Can he fix his tendency of hopping the route? We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see in the game if he takes more chances. But I'm fine with the way he plays. I'm fine with it.
Well, now Caleb, let's talk about you did sign somebody, and you signed. I think I've always liked this player. This player when he was in Minnesota, it was him and Eric Kendricks. Yeah. That was a great linebacking 1-2. You guys signed Anthony Barr. I don't know why Minnesota didn't re-sign him because he's pretty damn good. But sure, whatever, Minnesota, do you? But Anthony Barr, do you guys have no depth at linebacker, or is it just
No, I think it's just adding to the depth. Obviously, Van Der Esch has some injury past. Jabril Cox is coming off an injury, but we're just adding to it. Why not do this deal? Because it helps. It helps them. It helps the whole linebacking core. Michael Parsons can be all over the field, while both Leighton Van Der Esch and Anthony Barr can be at the middle and the weak side. And basically it allows Michael Parsons just to roam around and do his thing. I think that's the biggest thing. And this guy is really good run stopper, makes a lot of plays, gets the tackle for losses, gets the forced fumbles, and he had 3 sacks and 3 interceptions last season. I think the main thing where Vikings didn't re-sign him because he did have an injury last year, but after his injury, later as the season went on, he actually got more productive. So yeah, I think he still got a lot left. Maybe they just thought he was washed or something, but I still feel that he has a lot left. He's a 4-time Pro Bowler. It's only a $1 million, a 1 year, $2 million deal worth up to $3 million. So it's not like we're spending a whole lot on it, and we get maybe we can get a lot of production for not a lot of cost.
Yeah, I think, and honestly, like your linebackers, someone always gets hurt. Someone is always hurt. You know what I mean? It's either Leighton Van Der Esch, Sean Lee's been hurt his entire career. Like he's never healthy. Is he still there?
No, it's not.
Sean Lee's not there?
No, he's not.
Okay. Finally.
Retired last year.
Finally retired. Jesus. Well, he never really played it. He never really played a full-on season because that man is always like hurt. Leighton Van Der Esch, he gets dinged up once in a while. Jalen Smith's already gone. We had him in New York. I don't know why, but he's gone.
Isn't he still there? I thought he was at camp.
He's gone. He's gone. Thank God.
No,
yeah, man. Dude, I feel sorry for Jalen, bro. Wait, dude, that injury to his knee in the Fiesta Bowl, that's what ruined everything. Ruined everything, bro. Your only healthy linebacker is Michael Parsons. Like who else?
Well, Van Der Esch and Cox are healthy now.
Yeah, they're healthy now. We'll see. They're never healthy, ever. Like, oh, Leighton Van Der Esch looking good. Week 1, he hurt his neck. He'll be out for like 4 weeks.
He did hurt his neck.
Exactly.
But he's good. He's good now. He's looking good.
Yeah, we'll see. But Anthony Barr is a good prove it deal insurance linebacker. I think he'll get on the field once or more than we expect. Because I like Anthony Barr. He's pretty good.
No, he's definitely the starter on that.
He's a starter on any other team. I don't know why Minnesota didn't resign because
I would play him in the middle and let Van Der Esch play the weak because that's where Van Der Esch plays the best when he's on the weak side. So like I said, just helps Michael Parsons just either play linebacker, edge, and go wherever. And we also have Jaron Kearse, who also plays like a linebacker safety role. He's
Javon Kearse's son. Javon, the freak son. God, y'all have the freak son. That's wild. Man, I mean, Javon Curse, man, he was a bad member Gemma. You know what I mean? Coming in the NFL, 17 sacks his rookie year, and then he never did anything else because he kept getting hurt. The freak. I miss him.
So all of them together, if they're fully healthy for all the season, I think we have a really solid linebacker core.
Yeah, I think so. Well, Davon says, how many years has Anthony been in the league? I think he's been in the league, what, for like 8 years?
6 years, maybe?
6, 8? I think it's 8.
7, 6, 7.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah, I honestly think so. Like when he was in Minnesota with like him and Eric Kendricks in that defense, I think they could have made a run in the playoffs if they had a quarterback. If they had a quarterback, man, like literally, like, I remember the year. It was the year the Panthers made the Super Bowl. That year, Blair Walsh missed that field goal against Seattle. They beat Seattle, and you know what? Anything could have happened. You know, I think they would have. I think their only tough matchup in that playoff year would have been Carolina. Like it would have been like if Carolina beat them or they beat Carolina, I think one of those teams would have beaten the Cardinals in the championship game, and then they would have won. They would have been in the Super Bowl, and then if Minnesota beat Carolina, and then Minnesota, because Minnesota was definitely going to beat, like Minnesota and Carolina were definitely better than the Cardinals because Carson Palmer stinks. Okay, Rodney, you probably correct, Rodney. I'm not saying, Rodney, you correct. I'm not saying you wouldn't. But they could have given y'all because y'all barely beat Seattle. Y'all beat Seattle 31-24. You know what I mean? Y'all beat Seattle 31-24. So if Minnesota had a proper quarterback, they could have beaten y'all. Maybe we would have seen it. But Anthony Barr, Eric Kendricks, those were a great linebacker duo for a couple of years, man. And I think Minnesota wasted those years by straddling themselves with Kirk Cousins.
And now we got Barr and Parsons, so
exactly.
That looks really good to me.
I honestly think Barr is going to be a good upgrade for you because if you let Leighton Vander Esch play his proper position, a weak side, if Anthony Barr at the strong side, then just Parsons just roaming around. God rest those NFC East souls. You know what I mean? God rest them. But now, okay, let's move on. You don't have a kicker.
No, we don't.
What is going on? Why didn't you guys re-sign Greg the Leg?
Because he sucked.
Yep, that's true.
He lost us that first opening game. If we freaking hits the field goal, we win that game.
But hey, man, it's been a battle. Any kicker that you're liking? Because apparently none of them you guys assigned are any good.
They're terrible. They are so bad. I think like one guy went like 4 of 11, while the other one's like 7 of 11. They're both Liam Iralau and Jonathan Garibay. They freaking suck. I mean, they're not good. I
don't have kicking problems. We have Graham Gano. So
yeah, well, good for you.
Graham Gano.
I mean, it's terrible. It's terrible to watch. Like when I was watching the practice, they was like, oh, and you could hear it in the crowd. They were right when it's like, oh, you can hear the moans in the crowd. Every time the kicker came in, because they knew they were going to miss it.
Hey, man, speaking of kickers, man, shout out to Justin Tucker. He just got re-signed by the Baltimore Ravens, 4 years, $24 million. Good for him. Best kicker in the NFL. Probably the best kicker in NFL history.
NFL history, yeah.
Yeah, probably.
So, yeah, we're having a lot of problems there. Hopefully they get better in the preseason games. But we're working out like 2 or 3 kickers on Tuesday.
Who are they?
One of them is Brett Maher. Like, I don't know why the hell we're bringing him back in. Like, we just had him. We got rid of him for a reason. Like, what the hell are we doing?
I mean, you know who you guys sign up? You should call up is Roberto Aguayo. Call him.
No, it was good for us. We had him for like 8 games, and he was like really good. It was Kai Forbath. I would like to bring back him because he was perfect.
He's in tennis. He's in Houston.
Oh fuck! Oh shit!
He's Houston's starting kicker.
Well, he was good. Like he went perfect for the limited time he played when our kicker was injured, and he went perfect. Like I wish we would have signed that guy back. But yes, it's looking horrible for there. Yeah. Horrible kicking situation.
Well, now let's transition to the last topic. Is your D-line dominating or is your O-line not that good?
That's the big question. Because the D-line looks great. I mean, they are getting at, like I said, like I was talking about earlier when I said that they are just letting the Dak just throw the ball because he looks like he's going to get sacked every.
But you said Kai Forbath?
Yeah.
Oh my bad. He's in Minnesota. I apologize.
Yeah.
No, he's a free agent. He's a free agent actually.
Well, see, that's what I'm saying. We should sign him.
Yeah. Because who am I talking about? The one in Minnesota?
I have no idea.
Fairbairn. Kai Fairbairn. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, the Hawaiian kid. Fairbairn.
Fairbairn.
You know about Fairbairn, right? Fairbaum. Kai Fairbaum.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah. So like I was saying, their son, Dak just throw it, but every time he looks like he's about to get sacked. Like it's like, oh, that should have been sacked. That should have been sacked because DeMarcus Lawrence, Mike Parsons, all the edge guys are really kind of beating up on Terrence Steele, and that worries me a little bit. But Terrence Steele looks like he's more of a gamer. He looks like he does get beat in practice, but in the games, like he really shows up because he doesn't really allow sacks. Same with our center, Tyler Biotish, looks like he's getting beat a lot in that middle. But that does give me hope for a lot of the defense, the interior defensive line, because we got a lot of depth there. We got Osa Digiziwa, got Tristan Hill, Chauncey Golston, Neville Gallimore, Big Ridgeway, and Carlos Watkins, and all these guys are looking good. Like they're overpowering Tyler Biotish in that middle, and they're getting upfield. They look really good. Like I said, I really like the depth there, and but every time but it's not even like the starters are going to be like even the backups. Like when the backups can the second team defensive line is getting through, they're sacking the quarterback. So like I said, I don't know if it's totally the defensive line dominating or if it's the linemen are just not looking that great.
I'm gonna go with the defensive line is looking good, because when your second team defensive linemen are also beating your second team offensive linemen, that means the scheme is pretty dang good. You know what I mean? Scheme is pretty good.
And I love how Dan Quinn, because Dan Quinn is just right up there. He's coaching, he's telling them where to go. He's pointing out, like, really in their face and, really trying to teach them, coach them. And I love that about Dan Quinn. But yeah. Man,
dude, you know what's crazy about the NFL? Like, when a coach gets fired, it goes downhill real quick. Because just think of Dan Quinn. 2 years prior to him getting fired, they were in the Super Bowl. Everything's looking gravy for Atlanta. Everything's looking nice. And then you snap your finger a year and a half later, all hell just went just like that, bro. Like quickly, how quickly the NFL just changes. Like Dan Quinn was like, yo, Dan Quinn could create a dynasty in Atlanta to hey, someone fire Dan Quinn. And you're like, wow. And now it's like, hey, someone go get Dan Quinn. Like, wait, I thought 2 years prior we were gonna kill Dan Quinn. What's going on here? You know what I mean? Like it's just talk about a resurrection of somebody's image. Dan Quinn. You know what I mean? I think Dan Quinn's a pretty good defensive coordinator. Head coach, he's okay. He's okay. He'll have a good year or two, but he won't last long. He's a great defensive coordinator. I like him.
Well, I kind of blame that on Kyle Shanahan, because all he had to do was run the damn ball.
Just run the ball. Shanahan gets a little too cute. Gets a little too brainy. Like, let me drop this cool schemey thingy. Just run the ball down the throat of the defense. Like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? Why are you giving Tom Brady the ball back? You're up 28-3. Just grind it out. Take a long time calling the play. Take your time. Bring it down. You know what? Listen, I'm not gonna get started. Don't get me started. Don't get me started, please. I don't wanna get started, bro. I don't want to get started. All right. Caleb, that's pretty much all about the Cowboys. Yep. Now let's transition to the other team in blue. We had the New York Giants. Lawrence Taylor. What are we?
Hey, baby, let's go out there like a bunch of crazy dogs. Have some fun.
Damn right, Lawrence said. That's what we did. We got
look like a bunch of dead dogs.
Hey, can you see? I'm being very respectful of your team, and you just come at me like this. We can talk. I can be disrespectful about your team. Trust me, man. By week 4, all your linebackers gonna be injured. Then by week 3, Trayvon Diggs gonna get beat 8 times. All right, Zip it. All right, zip it. And you know what? All you really need to do is beat Dan. You know how you beat a Dan Quinn defense? Just have your running back run a goddamn wheel route, and boom, he'll be wide open. Shout out to Dare Ogumawale.
That's not even close to his name. So
that was the fullback that beat Michael Parsons on that.
No,
on the Hard Knocks, right?
That's not his name.
Oh, my bad. Dare is in Jacksonville. I apologize. Whatever. Shut up, Caleb. All right.
Michael Parsons had an interception today, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Today?
Yeah.
It's practice.
So
who cares? It's practice, man. We're talking about practice. Whatever. Whatever. You know what? Let's talk about the New York Giants. Right? Yeah, no, like crappy. You're crappy. Man, shut your mouth. You can't even beat the San Francisco 49ers with Jimmy Garoppolo. Get out of here. Okay, so zip it. So, did you win the Super Bowl?
No, we did not.
All right, then your season sucked.
Won the division.
Your season still sucked. My season sucked. Your season sucked. If you don't win the Super Bowl,
sucked. Your seasons.
My seasons? What are you talking about? We made the playoffs, and we made the playoffs 6 years ago.
yeah, you did.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, and then the famous boat trip and all that good jazz. I blame Justin Bieber. You know what? No, I blame Justin Bieber and Trey Songz. Trey Songz should be arrested. That's all I got to say. Someone should arrest Trey Songz, not just because of the boat incident, because also he's a sexual assaulter. But let's not talk about that, because this is a football podcast. Screw Trey Songz. And it's not liable because it's proven, or it's slander because it's all proven.
Are you just saying stuff, or did you fact check that?
No. Dakota Gonzalez told us her story. That's all I got to say. Shout out to Dakota Gonzalez. I hope you're doing very well, girl. All right, offensive line. Two of our offensive linemen went down. One's a season-ending injury in Marcus McKeithen. He was one of the linemen out of North Carolina we drafted. He tore his ACL, so that's really gonna kind of shut our depth a little, because we also lost Matt Gano. Matt Gano last year broke his neck, and then this year he was coming back, seeing if he was going to be okay. And during the first live practice, he didn't feel good. He just wasn't feeling right. He wasn't feeling right. So I think it's more looking like Gano is going to be a career-ending injury. I think this is probably going to be his last time ever playing NFL football because of his neck injury, and the hitting just screwed him up. So, it's not going to look good. So I think we lose those two offensive linemen. John Feliciano, his injury was not really an injury. He was dealing with heat exhaustion and fatigue. So he's actually back. So we're good. He's our starting center. Fleece, shout out to Fleece. And we just signed Eric Smith today. It's official. Eric Smith was with us, I think, in 2019. He's going to add depth on the tackle side. And it's very, very clear that Max Garcia, who we signed, thinking it's gonna be, I don't know if it's like Chris Carson's neck injury, Jared, but he broke something. I didn't get the full specifics, just that he broke his neck last year in the first padded practice when they were hitting. It just wasn't feeling right. It just wasn't feeling right. It felt he just wasn't feeling good, and he went to get checked out by the doctors. It's looking like it's a career ender. It's looking like. Could something happen? Maybe, I don't know. But it's something. He's getting checked out by the doctors today and in a couple of days. So we did sign. You're being roasted in the.
I know. That's why I smile. Like, these motherfuckers, man. Shut up. Y'all go to hell.
At least I'll always have 2011 and 2007. Well, you weren't even born when they won a title.
I was born.
You're like what, 1 year old?
No, I was 20 years old.
Oh, what? You were born in what? 92?
I was born in 93.
So you witnessed one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey man, it was like AOL Messenger. That's AOL loading up for you. Yeah, that's AOL loading up. Hey man, nobody call. But yeah, so our offensive line, has been, kind of like, just injuries, which is something I didn't want, but it is what it is. Pretty clear. Our left tackle, our left guard is going to be Shane Lemieux. He has solidified himself in that left guard spot. He took it from Max Garcia. We signed Max Garcia to say he's going to be one of our starters, but Shane Lemieux has made it very clear that he's going to be our left guard. And we got an update about Nick Gates. Nick Gates is looking good in rehab because Nick Gates had that horrific injury the week after the Saints game where he broke his leg in like 2 places, and he's just rehabbing and rehabbing. So we'll see if he's gonna come back fully healthy. So it's looking like the Giants actually released their unofficial depth chart for the preseason game they're gonna have. So at left guard, it's Shane Lemieux, got Fleece at center. Mark Glowinskowski at right guard, Evan Neal, and Andrew Thomas. That's the outline. Is it going to stay that way? Probably not. But I think it may be, maybe not. But I think this is going to stay that way because unless something injury happened, because like no offense to Josh Ezewudu, the other North Carolina kid we drafted, he hasn't been looking good. Jamal Douglas is our backup center. Ben Bredesen, he's going to get cut.
I mean, you guys have like the greatest resume of drafting, high round linemen. Do you?
Just Eric Flowers is the only one that messed up.
Well, the other one Hernandez, and you draft him
Willie Hernandez, yeah, him and Willie and Eric. Well, that's a different regime. That was the previous regime. That was the David Gettleman regime, and I personally think Willie Hernandez is a Duke Manyweather product. Duke because Duke is connected to the Cowboys because apparently he's doing like something with the Cowboys or something. Duke said with Willie, people forget our offensive line coach is horrible. Like we talk about how bad these offensive linemen are, but offensive linemen need a lot of coaching if you want to really fix them up. And Duke is like, yeah, they didn't coach him properly. You know what I mean? They didn't coach him. So like it is what it is. We'll see. Because like Eric Flowers became a serviceable guard in the NFL. He plays a very good guard. He's a good guard. Wasn't a very good left tackle. He was a horrible left tackle. Trash. But then he started playing guard for Washington, and he played good. Not great, because he was playing guard, but we'll see. Pretty much that's it. And then that's pretty much all the offensive lineman stuff. That's what I was really kind of worrying about because we also too had our Fan Fest event where the fans got to saw 11-on-11 scrimmaging. Most of the scrimmage were third and fourth stringers, and then there was live tackling in them. But then a couple of the the starters played. Daniel Jones found Wan'Dale Robinson on a little route when he like had to move up with the pocket, and he like fitted in there, and it was like between kind of like had to fit it in between a defensive like a linebacker's hands. Wan'Dale got it from the inside. He sat on the zone and then popped out. Tyrod Taylor scored a touchdown at the end when he came in at the goal line with Richie James. With Richie James, he popped in and out. There wasn't a lot of news for the wide receivers because either they're not really.
Wan'Dale looking the best.
Huh?
Is Wan'Dale looking the best?
Wan'Dale's looking good. The offense fully isn't there yet. I think it's about the timing and the way Dayball like does his routes, because it's reaction based, right? So like at the top of the route, the receiver could do 2 things. If the safety bails out, you do one thing, but if the receiver comes in, you do another thing. And I think the receivers still haven't figured that out because he's giving them options. And I feel like these receivers,
he can do a lot of things. Like he can be like the underneath, but he also can
exactly.
Go
Exactly. So, but the other receivers, like because Kenny Galladay was when he probably got in the NFL and when he was in Detroit, it was like Kenny, just run straight, That's all you got to do. Now Kenny's like, oh, if you get to the top of the route, Kenny, when the safety drops in, I want you to pop back out. Oh, but if the safety bails out, I want you to probably cut out or cut in. And Kenny's still like, wait, we have options at the top of the route now. Like, what is going on right now? So, because you could see it like, and you could see it in Buffalo where Stephon Diggs, when he would get to the top of his route, you don't know where he's gonna go because he's gonna go based on where you're gonna go. Because if you go left, he goes right. If you go right, he goes left. You come in, he goes I. You bail out, he curls back in and gets the ball to Josh Allen. And it's all about communication with Daniel Jones, because Daniel Jones isn't really, it's not looking good. He was 5 for 12 today.
No, it's not.
It's not looking good. And here's the thing about because So we'll see if they can grasp this offense because it's a mixture of Dayball and Kafka. So like they're together, and Kafka's gonna call the plays for the preseason game. So it's a mixture of both offenses, and they're giving like Al Stapleton, as when he was tweeting out, he was like, he's giving these receivers like options. You know, they're gonna do two different things. If the corner does one thing, they do one thing. You know, like that's the thing. So it's still a learning process, but it's training camp, it's practice, it's preseason. Fail. Like I want you to fail. You're supposed to fail, but week one, get yourself together. It's week one. You gotta make sure to get it all out before week one.
For this game coming up.
What I'm watching? Receivers.
Thursday, yeah.
Receivers and O-line. That's it. Receivers and O-line. Because if the receivers are playing good, then I'll know it's DJ's fault. But if the receivers are screwing it up because it makes the quarterbacks look dumb. Well, we'll see. The O-line is what I'm really watching. Because they're gonna go out there with Lemieux and Neal and Fleece and Neal. Neal is who I'm gonna be watching, the right side the entire game. I know Andrew Thomas is good. He's good. He just needs a good left guard who is consistent and he knows how to play with. Right tackle, I'm watching all day. Right tackle, Evan Neal. Because Evan Neal wasn't looking very good in a couple of practices. He was getting beat by O'Shane Zimenez and all the other linemen, and Kayvon Thibodeau. Apparently, Kayvon Thibodeau during the Fan Fest, and I quote some people, unstoppable. Lived in the backfield. Has a great first step. He has a nice bend to him. Something like, it's stuff like I've been saying the entire time he was in the draft. Kayvon Thibodeau has the best first step, has the best bend out of all three of them. It's him, Aiden Hutchinson, and Trayvon Walker. It was those three guys. I prefer Kayvon Thibodeau because of his first step and his bend and his use of violent hands. Trayvon Walker is just strong. Here's my one move. Because I remember I watched off.
He looked okay. He got a sack, right?
Yeah, he did. But like he just straight armed the tackle, and that's it. But guess what? Not all tackles are that tackle, and not all tackles are weak. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And imagine him try to straight arm Tyrone Smith, Caleb.
You ain't doing that.
Tyrone Smith's gonna be like, "What you trying to straight arm strength me this, bro? I got my own straight arm strength." You know what I mean? Imagine him try to straight arm strength David Bakhtiari. Not gonna happen.
You need
Tristan Wirfs.
You need
another move. You need another move. That's what about because here's the thing. That's about Kayvon. He can do the straight arm. He can bull rush. But here's the thing. The bull rush can be defeated pretty easy. But he can do the bend and rip and speed. He got a great first step. Out of all three men, his first step is the best. And I'm exactly like Davon said. All that has happened is Wink don't need to screw it up. If Wink screws it up, we're screwed. They're giving Wink. They gave Wink the best defensive lineman, the best edge player in the draft, and he's basically saying, "Just don't mess it up, bro. Let him run the ball." Because man, y'all here like watching Brandon Williams guard a running back, no. Let Kayvon Thibodeau just rush the passer. That's all you gotta do. Just let him rush the passer. That's all you gotta do. And he's looking good. I think, all I'll say is this: Detroit and Jacksonville may regret their decision. That's all I gotta say. They may regret their decision. That's all I gotta say.
We haven't seen how Aiden Hutchinson looks yet.
We'll see. So, I'm maybe hyperbolic. I am kind of hyperbolic, but it is what it is. But now, FanFest, like we just recapped it. Receivers are up and down. 1 week, one day they look good. One day they don't look good. Today, Kadarius didn't look very good today. But so like we'll see. But I think that's more of the offense. They're still learning. Because in Wink's, I keep talking to Ravens fans about Wink Martindale, and it's very clear what his offense is, what his defense is. They're gonna do a lot of blitzing. It's gonna be a lot of man. You know what I mean? And it's gonna be very hard for us.
We don't have the corners to hold up.
Though. We don't have it because, like I said, we dropped our first depth chart. Our starting two corners are Adoree Jackson and Aaron Robinson. I don't think they're good enough. They're fine. They're not good enough. We need better corners. We may need to draft corners in the draft or find a corner in free agency, like some, we'll see. But our corners is going to be the death of us. at least in Baltimore, they had Marcus Peters and I don't remember. Yeah, I know it's Marcus Peters. Shout out to West Oakland. But it is what it is. But yeah, our corner is gonna need to. They're gonna be put on an island, and we can see like they're gonna have Julian Love inside, probably on the bottom. They're gonna have X-Man on the back. X-Man's gonna patrol. So we'll see. The corners are gonna be where on the defensive side. I'm watching the corners. That's what I'm watching against the Patriots. The corners is gonna be. But here's the problem, man. Are we gonna be vanilla on our defense? Are the Patriots gonna be vanilla on their offense? Well, we'll see. We'll see. I'm watching the corners.
Man either way. So
yeah, they're gonna be playing man. Let's see if they can play man. Let's see if they can play man. But like I'm gonna with Biden, we're gonna get roasted every week. Those corners are not good enough. We need better corners. We need better corners, man. And then the thing that's really bugging me about our offense is tight end. We have no idea what the hell's going on with tight end because our starter tight end is Daniel Bellingham. He's back. He was hurt. Now he's back. He's getting the first team reps.
Isn't it Bellinger?
I thought it was a Ring.
Bellinger.
I saw a Ring. I thought his name was Ring. Daniel Bellinger.
Yeah, Bellinger.
No, that's not Bellinger. There's no Jer. It's Bell, then Linger.
Okay.
Bellinger. Daniel Bellinger. So it is what it is. But yeah, so like that's happening because Ricky Seals-Jones is hurt. He's missed most of training camp. Jordan Atkinson is not very good. I don't know why we signed him. It's probably like a camp body. He'll probably either be cut or.
Evan Ingram's back. What's your name? Evan Ingram's back.
Nope, because I saw him play in Jacksonville. He's still dropping passes. I saw him drop like 3 passes from Trevor Lawrence. But we'll see. But yeah, if Jordan Atkinson, if he tries to make the team, he's going to be on special teams. Most of these people are going to be special teamers, I think. But yeah, so it's Daniel. Then there's Chris Mayrick and Andre Miller. Andre Miller was actually looking pretty good. He was doing pretty good. But unfortunately, today he broke his forearm and his wrist. So he's probably going to be put on IR. Like I said with Marcus McCathan, he was on IR. Could Andre Miller come back at a time? Maybe. But it's probably going to put like on temporary IR, which is probably like week 8, bring him back. Because most time you break your forearm is probably 4 to 6 weeks. Because you know what I mean? But we're still in preseason. So we'll see. Are we going to cut him? Are we not going to cut him? He looked pretty good out of Maine. He's from the University of Maine. He looking pretty good. 6'3", got a good body, got good control. He looking good, but we'll see because he got injured. Then it was pretty clear that Daniel Jones is QB1. Tyrod Taylor actually today. So today we today.
That's real QB1.
That's today. Daniel Jones pissed off Brian Daboll and he took him off the field and put Tyrod Taylor for a play, probably to like lecture him. But today there was a fight. It's a big old fight. They had a fight. You know what I mean? So the fight started when Saquon Barkley gave Aaron Robinson a little oomph to the tackle, you know what I mean, which was unnecessary. And then a fight breaks out between John Feliciano, our starting center, Tay Crowder, and Cam Brown, our 2 linebackers. And they're just fighting, swinging punches. And Bobby Johnson, who is our offensive line coach, jumped in the fight and started shoving people. He shoved Cam Brown, and then I think Cam Brown shoved him, and then Feliciano swung on him again, and just an all-out fight just breaks out. And you know what? It's not training camp until there's a fight, right, Caleb? So that's what happened, man. So yeah, so that's pretty much all that happened today. Cam Brown basically dragged John Feliciano outside. There was a scuffle, and then Cam Brown just grabbed Fleece and just dragged him out like a dead body. And then Fleece gets up and punches him in the face.
At least it's not as bad as what Trevor Penning is doing, because he'd be getting kicked out 3 times.
Yeah, Trevor Penning. Okay, I get the aggressiveness, but dude, just calm down. Chill, dude. Jesus
You'd be
Christ.
starting fights every single play.
Dude, yeah, chill out, bro. Just chill out. Yeah, apparently Cam Brown was dragging Fleece. Then Bobby Johnson pushes Cam, and then Fleece punches Cam in the head with the helmet. And I'm like, bro, y'all are wearing helmets. No one's feeling this. Like, no one's getting hurt. But it is what it is. All right, so Caleb, that's pretty much it on the Giants front. Any other like tidbits from the Cowboys that we missed?
No, that's pretty much all I got.
Yeah, all right, cool. But I want to talk about like this. I do want to talk about the defensive side of the ball, their depth chart. The defensive side is at nose is Dexter Lawrence, Leonard Williams at defensive tackle. Our starting D-end is Azeez Ojulari, but he's still working through his injury, so that's why he has the 3-star designation. Our rush end is Kayvon, and then what? Here's the thing that's throwing me off is Kayvon's backup is O'Shane Ximines. O'Shane Ximines wasn't really having a good camp early on, but now due to the fact that Azeez Ojulari is kind of injured, he's taking Ojulari's first team reps. You know, like the problem with O'Shane, it's not about, you know, he has tools. It's all about here. The most important part, he keeps making those mental mistakes. He jumping off sides, you know, getting beat off the line, you know, not, you know, he needs to get it together a little. And, you know, I think that the reps when Azeez is out, it's making him, because he was a cut candidate. He was a cut candidate, but I think now he's not going to get cut, you know? Now he's going to get cut, which is weird to me because, like, I don't see Ellerson Smith on this list. So I don't know what's wrong with Ellerson Smith. Is he hurt? Do they not like him? I don't know. He was the rush end we drafted last year, the edge from Northern Iowa. We'll see if they like him or not, because I don't see him at all. And, you know, I was watching a lot of press conferences. Julian Love talking about Wink Martindale, and Wink talking about the green dot. He's saying, like, the green dot, like, just because everyone has the green dot on the middle linebacker doesn't mean everybody got to do that. You know what I mean? He then said, like, I could put if Leonard Williams or Dexter Lawrence are in the game every single play, they would have the green dot because that's how smart they were. You know what I mean? He's saying, like, we can put the green dot on anybody. You know, that's why the green dot's on X now. I think he has the green dot on yeah, he could be on PUP. You're probably right, Jared. But I didn't even see him on the PUP list. So I got to double check. I didn't even, because they put a couple people on PUP. They put Azeez on PUP. They put Fleece on PUP for a little. Daniel Bellinger was on PUP, but I didn't see Ellerson Smith. I got to double check that.
But usually you would like the green dot on the linebacker just because you can get he's closer to the line. You get the lineman.
Yeah. That's what I think. I think you can. I think they're gonna have multiple green dots. I think you can have multiple green dots. So I think it's gonna be middle and safety. I think it's gonna be X and Blake Martinez. That's what I think. Also too, big standout of the training camp was Darian Beavers, the linebacker out of Cincinnati that we drafted in the 6th round. I don't know how he fell to the 6th round because I like Darian Beavers, and he's pretty damn good. And if something happens to Blake, I think Darian is looking good for replacement. Or no, not Blake. Tate Crowder. Shoot, man, he may take Tate Crowder's job because Tay be having mental lapses sometimes. Because Tay's very athletic. He's like very long. He's like very athletic, but sometimes up there learning schemes kind of really the detriment to Tay. And the one person Wink really loves is Darnay Holmes. He's our nickel corner. And I'm a big fan of Darnay Holmes. Call him Dirty 30 is what he calls him. Dirty 30. He's number 30. He's number 30. And he's kind of rough and rugged. I liked it. Cordell Flott is his backup. Rondarius Williams, last year he tore his ACL. Rondarius is the go-to backup for either cornerback spots. So I like that as well. And then, but here's the thing too about it. Dane Belton, the safety who broke his collarbone last week, was listed as Julian Love's backup. So that's how much they love Dane Belton. So Dane's looking good. Dane's looking good pretty much. So it is what it is. Yeah. All right. So that's the New York Giants, man. Caleb, anything else, my man?
Yeah.
It's pretty much it,
I'm just ready for watching my team go against another team. So
yeah, I can't wait for, preseason, hitting somebody, none of that joint practices stuff, just like actually hitting someone in the head and, not in the head, that's messed up, but, All about the one is some glory, Caleb.
Like a lot of fans, they don't like preseason. They say, "Oh, it's crap football, whatever." I like seeing it. I like seeing guys fight.
You can take some stuff out of preseason. Most of your starters aren't going to play. Maybe not.
Play, obviously, but I like
it shows you if you have depth. If you have depth. No one's getting hit in the head, Adelia. I misspoke. I apologize. No head hunting. That's not okay. You're not Jack Tatum, people. Chill out. But yeah, man, it shows if your team has depth. If your team has depth, then you're good. That's all I gotta say. You know what? And that's all we're looking for is some glory. Am I right, Jerry Jones?
I want me some glory hole.
Damn right. All right, Jerry. Thank you very much. I'm always gonna sign off that way. So Jerry Jones, I really appreciate your existence. All right, Caleb, where can people find you, my man?
You can find me on this channel on the Betting the NFL. This week we're going to talk about NFC East. We're going to have Ferris on with me and Derek to help y'all win some money. We're going to be making some bets. Mm-hmm. Hopefully you guys take our advice and win some money yourselves. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at NFLKF22. And on this we're also coming out with the comic book thing.
Top 5 comic books rankings. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do a video on Thursday. We're gonna record it as our patrons. They listed their top 5 comic books. We compiled them in our rankings, and we will shoot the video and release it to everybody. Thank you guys for your participation. Shout out to the patrons. Yeah, shout out to the patrons. Patrons, if you want to be a patron, like a lot of people are in the chat, shout out to Bruce Banner, Jared, he's a patron. Shout out to Hendo, he's a patron. Brodney's a patron. They're patrons. You can go patreon.com/LGR network to participate in those. There's multiple levels of participation. And, we really enjoy doing this because we want to do a lot of community stuff with our patrons. And Lunch Break Hot Take. He's also a patron as well. Shout out to Jose. I don't know if it's Jose or the fantasy draft. Late August, guys. Late August, we're doing the fantasy draft after preseason because we finally know who's injured and who's not injured. Yep. So it is what it is. Yeah. Yeah. Make sure to like this video and subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Share it if you want to share it with your friends and your family. Shout out to Hendo. He shared one of our videos with his kids. And his kids are big fans of us. Shout out to Hendo's kids, by the way. Shout out to Hendo's kids. They're a good bunch, and they're raised by a great man. I'm Ferris Muthana. You can find me at Ferris Muthana on Twitter. You can find me on this channel whenever I pop up here every Monday, 3:00. It is Good Friends, Better Rivals. We are bringing back the rally. The rally's coming back. The Montreal and Quebec Opens. It's the beginning of hard court season, which means the U.S. Open, baby. Here comes the U.S. Open. We're going to do also the Cincinnati Open. So me and Adelia, we're going to be talking tennis. Also, Adelia came out with her very first episode of Starting 11. It's an English Premier League podcast where she, an Arsenal fan, and Rob Snark, a Chelsea fan, talk all about the EPL, world football, everyone. We talk American. They talk world, and 2 of the most popular sports in the world get discussed on this very channel by 2 sets of different people. That's all I got to say. On that note, like and subscribe. Join the Patreon if you want. And y'all have a wonderful day. Stay safe. Stay cool because it's pretty hot up in here. It's pretty hot. Pretty hot here. It's pretty hot in Vegas. And make sure you get a good cold bath and drink some good stuff like some water. Peace.